seen my body transformation video, you'll know a couple of years ago I lost a lot of weight and went from fat to fit. But what that video doesn't show is what happened afterwards when I kept going and kept losing weight and got way too thin. So thin, some people thought I looked sick and scary skinny. I destroyed a lot of the photos that I have of me at that time, but I did manage to find one picture that I am going to put up soon just to show you how thin I got. And I want to compare skinny me to fit me now. And I just want to point out that I'm in no way disparaging people who are naturally and effortlessly very thin. There are some people who are just thin and you're very lucky. But for me to get really thin was very unnatural and required very unhealthy behavior. So the reason I got too thin, I think it's interesting to talk about, because a lot of people, when you start a diet and you're very overweight, and by the way, if you are overweight now and you're trying to lose weight, you might think that being too thin is a pretty good problem to have, but it's not great, as you'll see. And I will put the photo up soon. But the reason that I got too thin was I got down to a really healthy weight where I looked great and everybody was telling me how good I looked. And I got worried. I worried that what if I start putting the weight back on again? I really wanted to put as much distance between that high weight and my goal weight as possible. And I wanted to create, I guess, a bit of a buffer where I would feel safe. So I thought if I lose just a couple more kilos, then if I do put on a little bit of weight, then I'll just be back to my perfect weight. So that's what I did. I lost a couple more kilos, and then I thought, oh, maybe just another kilo, and just to feel safe. It's a very strange psychology that you can get caught up in. It wasn't even about the aesthetics of it. It wasn't so much how I looked, it was how I felt. Just wanted to feel thin and safe that I wasn't going to get fat again. So that's kind of the psychology of it. So here is the photo that I managed to find. When I saw this photo, I was so horrified at how bad I looked in a bikini, which is kind of weird because the whole point of losing weight was to feel better about how I looked. But when I saw this picture, there was no way I would have worn this bikini in public. I had no idea that my chest was so bony. Look at it. Every bone is just sticking out. I look horrific. I've got no boobs at all. My arms, look at my ribs. Like, I'm just skin and bone. And look at my face. I look so miserable. My eyes are sort of sunken in and I just look miserable because I was miserable. Even though I was probably, the thinnest that I'd ever been, I felt terrible. And when I saw this photo, I was just shocked. This photo, it's a good thing because it did shock me into action, and subsequently I put some weight back on. But let's just talk about skinny me versus fit me. So first of all, just from an aesthetic point of view, skinny me was not attractive. Not attractive to other people, certainly not attractive to men. And I could see that it was quite hideous, and people were frightened. People were actually, my mum told me later that people were coming up to her and asking if I was sick because they thought I was literally dying. So that is horrific, as you can imagine. Imagine how my mum felt. So not attractive. Fit me feels far more attractive. On a superficial level, it doesn't matter really, if guys notice me or whatever, but when I was this thin, nobody noticed me. I was kind of invisible, and these days I notice heads turn. I get the occasional wolf whistle, which isn't bad. Isn't bad for your self-esteem. Probably it doesn't hurt that I'm now walking a very cute little dog, and maybe that is what is getting the attention. Clothes were a real problem. Skinny me couldn't find clothes to fit. I was smaller than the smallest Australian sizes. Australia goes down to a size 6, that's about the smallest that we have. That's a US size 2, and I was too small. I was too small for that size. So I couldn't find anything to fit. It was either a case of go to the children's department and buy really crappy clothes that are not designed for a 50-year-old woman, or what I did was I had to take everything to the dressmaker to be made smaller and smaller, and even my dressmaker got alarmed at how small she was having to make my clothes. So Fit Me can walk into any store, and yeah, I do take the smallest size, but I fit it. I'm not freakishly small, I'm just small, and I can get everything in my size of the hanger, so far better. Let's talk about how I felt. Skinny me was obsessed with my weight to the point of it just took over everything. Just the pure mental energy required to get skinny and stay skinny, it took all my energy. I was afraid of food. I was afraid to eat out. I couldn't enjoy eating out because I felt like I couldn't control how much I was going to eat, and I was faced with too much temptation, so I wasn't enjoying food at all. Fit Me loves food and gets so much enjoyment and pleasure out of food and eating out, and food is just lovely and I'm not scared of it. Skinny me had, okay, if you want to feel like you're going insane, get down to an unhealthily low weight and try and maintain it. You will go nuts. The reason is your body is just so smart, and your body will do anything to try and get you back up to a healthy weight. Skinny me was 24/7 just being driven out of my mind because my body wanted me to eat anything. It wasn't even cravings, it was just the urge to eat, constant hunger that could never be satisfied. And I was going demented fighting that. It was so horrible, and of course led to terrible binging as well. Fit Me because I don't deny myself anything, and I'm not trying to restrict my food intake. Fit Me, it never has these cravings. I feel free. I feel free of this mental disorder and chaos. It's so amazing. I would never want to be skinny me ever again. I'm just so happy and healthy being fit. So that's a bit of my story of fat to fit via skinny. I hope you found it interesting. Perhaps it's helped you in some way. Please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. And I would so love you to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate every one of you who subscribes and comments and just gives me support. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll have a new video for you next Fabulous Friday. And of course, I also have the Wednesday weight loss challenge with my man behind the camera, Mr. Cameraman, and I would love you to join us for that as well. So we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.